Hi everyone, let's get up close and personal for a second. So I was supposed to finish scene 8 last week and I put it off for 2 days, so I'm trying to finish it now when I'm supposed to be dedicating this time to scene 10. Anyways, I'm going to put some music on and I'm going to start this. I have 3 backgrounds to get done and four scenes? 4 scenes to get done. After I finished that background, I decided that I was going to make things easier on myself instead of drawing 2 separate backgrounds of this scene. Since the characters are sitting right across from each other, I'm just going to flip the canvas and then draw what I need to draw on the other side, flip the water, and boom, it looks like a whole different background. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So this made me realize I've never drawn a hammock before. I struggled so bad with the wrinkles and the strings. I had no idea what I was doing. Reference pictures helped, but girl, they can only help so much. Yeah, I drew all of this and then I flipped it and I flipped the water and I just drew the stuff on the other side. Y'all know that saying that you don't forget how to ride a bike? Well, I actually never rode a bike, so I indeed forgot how to animate for a bit, which is why I was so unhappy with last week's work because I was doing the very basics of what I remembered. I wasn't adding the tweens that needed to be added, and I was too lazy to go back and do them. And at the same time, unlike most of the cartoon, this is on a time limit because it's a montage and it's on a song, so I can't really add extra frames because it would be too long and it won't match up with the song how it's supposed to. For this one, I just thought, why not? Because this is really towards the end of the montage. There's only like 3 more scenes after this. 2 of them are within this same part, and then the last part's kind of a split screen of the different things the characters are doing. It faded off after 2 characters, by the way, because I didn't know what else to do. So this is good because I added like an extra second, and that might not seem like a lot, but it adds up. It really does. And the little character costume changes, I just, like, chef kiss. I love it. Also, the physics of the hammock may not be perfect, but I mean, like, it is what it is. It's a cartoon. Let's not get too serious. And also, I plan on green screening his magazine in later because I didn't know what to add for his. Okay, enough talking. That's all I have to say. Bye. There's this thing about me that when I get into something, I really get into it and I obsessively do it, and that's me with animating. I can go for hours animating without breaks, and then next thing I know, I'm blinking and it's been 10 hours. I didn't finish this in the time that I wanted to yesterday, which I had the time to do it, I just didn't feel like it, which is a big setback and is why the episode wasn't out 2 years ago when it should have been. Can we talk about how I sketched way more messily than I thought? Because this whole boat thing, I don't even remember what it was supposed to be, and I was looking at the sketch and I was like, what is this? And I don't think this was my best work, but now that I've done this, I only have one part of the montage left. And to be honest, I think I might just cut that part out because I feel like it doesn't really add anything. I feel like everything that you can learn about the characters in their situation is completely splayed out in what I've done so far. So I think I'm going to cut that last part out because I feel like it's unnecessary and redundant at this point. Or there's like a third option where I can add a different scene, but just thinking about it, I don't even know what I would add. I was thinking about showing the characters giving away money and swiping credit cards, but that just felt boring and I didn't really want to do that. But after I edit this into the episode and see how it falls on the timeline, I'll decide if I'm going to keep it or not. Also, with this part, I had a pretty hard time because of the way the paper bends. Which, that sounds kind of dumb, but I didn't measure it correctly, so it's like the paper kept getting shorter and shorter every time I did a tween. And I'm also really proud of myself for this scene because it was really choppy when I first did it, and I was gonna leave it like that, but I was like, this is the end, let me just add a little bit more tween so it's more smooth. I'm probably gonna be ending it on this part. And I don't know why it never occurred to me before, but I put the colors on the screen so I didn't have to keep going back and forth while I was doing the coloring and the shading. I feel like I was cheating myself by not doing that before. You're probably tired of hearing my voice, but here's the finished product and I'm about to edit it and you're gonna see what the whole scene looks like. So that's scene 8 and 9 done, 2 days past the due date. I know it's not much, and it's not 100% what I imagined, and I did end up deciding to cut out that last part. Like I said, it was redundant. Overall, I feel like I've done my best or my favorite backgrounds throughout the course of this, and I kind of relearned how to animate after not doing it for months on end. And I honestly feel like the background and the characters, they fit together, which was my biggest thing when I was making the cartoon. And yeah, yap session incoming. Yes, I'm feeling very nostalgic about being able to finish scene 8, even if it's only 20 something seconds long. Like I was saying, the characters and the backgrounds matching was my hugest thing, because when you watch any other cartoon, the character looks like they belong in their environment. And because I was terrible at drawing backgrounds, because I was mostly focused on character art, I was having a hard time trying to find something that defined the background and made the characters look like they belonged in it. When I drew the first background, I just on a whim used a charcoal brush because I was like, most cartoons I see use cell shading, which is very sharp lines, very defined shadows. And while that looks good to me on their characters, I felt like it didn't fit my characters. And after drawing the background the way I did with the charcoal brush, I just thought, well, why not? And I used the charcoal brush on one of the characters and I turned down the opacity to 50%. And that just kind of ended up being my staple. Like, I've been using it ever since. I feel like it's great for smears. It looks amazing to me for smears. It just looks different. Like, I haven't seen any cartoons, let me know if there are some, but I haven't seen any cartoons that use the charcoal brush to shade the characters and the background, which is why I'm hoping that this is kind of unique to the Alphashar style. And honestly, the only thing that really keeps me going animating is being able to sit here and watch my cartoon like this and see all that I've animated. Like, yeah, maybe it's only 10-20 seconds at a time, but when I put it all together like this and I'm able to watch it and it feels like an actual cartoon, I just sit here all giddy and excited because it's like I made this by myself. And I really can't wait to share this with other people, not because of the looks, not because of the time that it took, but because of the story that I put in it and how this story is going to play out. I know I said in last week's video one of the characters is important for the end of season 1, which, if you can believe it, was supposed to be 60 episodes, which I don't know if that's happening anymore. I might cut it down to like 20 or something. I don't know. But I have seasons 1 and 2 planned out already. I know how I want the first season to end, and I know how I want the second season to start, which I feel like is a lot of planning on my account, probably because I'm an overthinker. But that's enough with the yapping. I'm gonna start working on scene 10 now. Peoples, I was supposed to animate yesterday, but I was really lazy, so I didn't. And I set everything up though. I didn't animate, but I set everything up. I put all the scenes, I split them. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, when I first made it, I did all the storyboards and then I edited into what was already animated for the rest of the episode. And then my iPad was acting up and it was saying that I had storage in my photos. Like my photos was taking up 20 gigabytes of storage, even though I had like 5 pictures in it. So I had to reset my iPad. And when I reset my iPad and I re-downloaded, like, it was supposed to recover everything. But then I opened Procreate and every artwork, every animatic, every storyboard from the last 3 years was deleted and there's no way to recover it. And that happened like a month ago. So I'm so happy. The thing about me is that I kind of make backups for everything because I was scared of this very thing. So for every storyboard that I finished, I literally downloaded it and put it in Google Photos. So I still have all the storyboards, but I never like edited it into the full episode. I edited up to scene 10 with the storyboards, and I downloaded the whole video, so it's not in like sections anymore like it was. So I have to cut down the video and then delete like the frame, the first frame and the last frame, because that's like a different scene, a different part of the scene. And so that's what I was doing. I was downloading it, I was cutting stuff out, putting it in, cutting stuff out for each part of the scene, because on Procreate, if you don't know, there's like a layer limit, which the layers are like the frames. You can only have 125 layers. I put it in originally as 1 frame per second because it was a storyboard. And then I downloaded it. And when I downloaded it, that turned it into 30 frames per second, which is the average for video recordings like this, 30 to 60. But the cartoon is 24. So then I have to put it in. And it's like, it's holding this frame that was supposed to be 1 frame. It's holding it for, like 125 frames. It's not rough animation. It's literally just a storyboard. I have to go in and cut the different parts in. Download it from CapCut. Put it in. Delete the first few frames from the last scene. And then go back to CapCut. Cut it up. Download it again. And I had to do that like 10 times. I won't say I did nothing yesterday, but I didn't do any animating. Oh, and I did calculate the amount of backgrounds I need. It should be 5 backgrounds. These are the backgrounds that I'm supposed to be doing today. I don't think I'm going to animate any today, and if I do, it's going to be a small scene, like this one. I think today I'm mostly going to try to do backgrounds. Okay, that's it from the floating head. I'll see ya. Okay, first of all, I took a break yesterday from doing the backgrounds because I just got tired of it. And this one, it seemed like the most taxing, difficult one, which is why I put it off. And I was correct to do so because this is by far my least favorite background that I've done this week of this specific location. I don't think I will be using this background again, and if I do, I'm going to completely redraw it because I forgot the layout of the house, so I think the windows are in the wrong place. The grass is too high, perspective of the fences feel off. It just feels like a mess, this whole background. Like there's literally nothing else to say. Even though it didn't come out exactly as I imagined it, this is my first time drawing an overhead view, so I was actually really happy with this. Even though I had a hard time with some of the coloring and details, I love it.